international branch where her business is and
FNF
becoming local
Patreon.
citizens there.
Good plug for that, but
because the U.S. is a bit of a mess.
If you're enjoying. Never mind.
Oh, fellow human
coming over
beings,
here.
oxygen breathers, and
Every
such.
pound you give can help a starving mission.
Break.
Okay. Let me
Or
get
Canada.
to give us the
I
brief
got
on
friends in
this
Canada.
here.
I got friends everywhere, actually.
Hello, I am certified mission maker. Here's my diploma. All right. So of course, spawns are indivisible for both.
Well,
teams
no
for
shit,
the
no one's
spawn.
issuing visas yet. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Originally, well, there still is a road system that I spent like 3 or 4 hours making with the removed terrain, or
Nice.
object terrains, and Eden editor. But and it was marked with markers, but the mission reviewers deemed it, I guess, too annoying, I guess, for map viewers. So I guess you're gonna have to just guesstimate where open paths are, where there aren't rocks and such. But it does pretty much go around the map.
She does have
around
dual
the
citizenship.
objective areas in our spawns.
Greek and U.S.
What else is there to say? Yeah,
Germany is
it's
a mess right now,
non-sequential uplink, 3 terminals, yada yada yada. BLUFOR engineers are able to build, as far as I know, unless if they changed it behind my back. And
I know, yeah, it's just gonna be like 10 years down the line.
Oh, and view distance is like around 1,800 meters.
You check the mission details, wars. We'll say 1800.
Any questions from the company commanders? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Any questions from company commanders?
Alright, so I'm gonna go upstairs and change my name back to Lcpl Liru as they get things started. Hey,
I
Barb.
forgot to inform you that Bloodwing is in my chat, and she is very excited by what she sees.
Bullshit.
Yeah?
Bullshit.
Alright, Bloodwing, you know what to do. Go into Liru's chat and call him out on his bullshit.
Bullshit. No.
I'll drink for you, man.
Nope. No. Are you in Barb's fucking Twitch channel? No. But you're laughing in the background. I know that
I
laugh.
just made her VIP like 2 minutes ago.
You don't know what I'm oh, no, I know that defensiveness.
No idea.
You go to his channel before you come to mine?
Well, yeah, I have what she wants.
Shut up, barbarian.
Not a clue.
Huh?
Referring to.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah?
what
Alright, well now I'm happy I slept with your sister, so.
I have not a clue about maid outfits.
I see. Not a clue about maid outfits, you say.
Or anything of the sort.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a
The
damn.
thunder is very
Not
ominous.
not a damn thing. Gotcha. Alright.
Not a damn.
Okay. Well, Boo, I'm gonna get back to work. I think it's weird how you just mentioned maid outfits there, but I'm going to not bat an eye to that, okay? I gotta now work for a living, so I will talk to you later.
Wait, I need help with something.
What do you need help with?
How do you do the multi-twitch?
How do I do the exclamation point MULTI in my Twitch chat? And the link will come up.
There you go.
Shut up. Shut up, barbarian.
Hey, Barb.
I mean,
Hey, Barb, do us
She
another
was in my
twirl.
chat. I can send you pictures if I want.
Wait, Barb's doing twirls in the maid outfit.
Barb, do another twirl.
And I look
I'm handing
very
up
cute
now.
doing it. Thank you very much.
It's in the maid outfit.
I'm handing up now, Boo. I love you.
She loves me more.
Shut up, barbarian. Bye, Boo.
So now that the intro to the VOD is ready, how are you?
Mad. You?
Happy.
Great. Anyway, something I've also done today, which I haven't done in a while, but I've made an administrative decision on myself too, and Dingo can sue me later. I have re-enabled the !FNF command because attendance was lacking. I've also been told a few other things that I'm not allowed to disclose right now that I'm also scared of. So that FNF command is staying on there. So if you want to ever join Friday Night Fights, just do !FNF, and I walk you through in that command how you do things. Bassbeard, I blame you for this. I will enjoy murdering you on the 6th for Project 17, aka Liru's multi-community event number 1. But let's go ahead and talk about the AO. Barb, do you want to start with BLUFOR, the defenders, or OPFOR, the offensive?
I am already over BLUFOR, so I will start with them. They are using the Croatian, if my memory serves me correct. I used to call it Czech, but I believe it's Croatian. VHS-2 5.56 rifles, wearing British multicam or MTP, and rocking 5.56 with some mini-me's and an M240, and for the platoon level machine gunner. SR-25, aka the Mark 11, marksman rifle in 7.62 NATO. As for assets, they have 2 armored Humvees with M2s and the LRAS laser imaging system that probably doesn't have thermals, but I don't know at this point. That's been a bit of a confusing topic, but they do have plenty of armor. You can tell by the extended windows and the silver interior of the doors. And they also have a fuckload of unarmored transport trucks and 4 shielded M2 heavy barrel machine guns and 50 Browning machine gun. Big DACA, lots of it. Pretty good kit, except for the fact that, personally, I fucking hate the VHS-2s.
Oh, everyone in TSB does, I can guarantee with that. It's a very clunky model, similar to how when we put in the 3CB UK mod, everyone hates using the L85s except the actual British guys in our unit. But that's besides the point. I think BLUFOR has a lot of 50 cal here to utilize, which will be interesting in contrast, especially with the armed MI8s with an actual fucking pylon on it. Oh my gosh, they gave it a fucking
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, southern side. It has the GSH pylon, which is how would I describe that? It's meant to be like an anti-infantry or an anti-vehicle pylon, depending on the ordnance, but that thing can fuck up infantry very easily. So I'll be curious to see how that thing is utilized. But honestly, OPFOR, seeing that in play and the fact that they have a fucking 25% numbers advantage in 2 BTR 80s, there's a lot of heavy guns in play here. So
yeah, they have a single 23mm double barrel autocannon fucking gun pod. That is that alone is fucking huge for FNF, because generally speaking, they do not allow, or they don't like, any kind of auto explosive ordnance. You never see BTR 80 alphas. You never see 40mm GMGs. So the fact that they were willing to put a pylon onto this MI8 is very, very surprising. And to me, I'm very excited.
I see.
But yeah.
Have we covered everything?
I was kind of sending something to Bloodwing. What rifle did you say they had?
For which faction?
Red 4.
Red 4 has a mix of 7.62, the Czechoslovakian copy of the AK, the M8 somethings, as well as some 5.45 AKs from Russia.
Yes.
So it's a mix of calibers, and some SA-58s as well.
I'm also seeing on Nem, not Nemesis, but Nem, he has an M4, so that's very interesting. But yeah, the Czech AK, I'm seeing some FALs as well. So yeah, a healthy mix of different calibers just to make things nice and confusing.
Yeah, see that FAL too, 7.62, still on the plate there, but I don't know. So OPFOR has a big mix of weaponry. BLUFOR, though, all with those VZHs, or whatever the designation is. regardless, looking at the number advantage contrast, I think is the biggest thing I see here. Just OPFOR has a daunting amount with all these support assets. I think this will be quite interesting to see how this all plays out. But let's go ahead and cover the terminal sites.
Absolutely. Starting off with Terminal 1. Again, real quick, this is a non-sequential terminal uplink mission, so they can go in any order they please. But for Terminal 1, this is a very familiar, actually a few familiar
I don't know where the bees are anymore.
prefabs, but not to say that they are bad, but these are... the terminal itself is underneath a big old battle tower. At the base of it, in this very nice base with some decent terrain coverage as well. Very nice U shape if you look at the map, with the opening to the north. This being on the southwestern side of the AO, should be fairly decent protection from most attacks, especially with that battle tower overlooking the expanse. You okay?
Yep.
Otherwise,
Dealing with
an
some
HQ
fallout
building,
from his
some
bullshittery.
HESCO barriers, HESCO watchtowers, and a cargo tower, the checkpoint kind of overwatching tower. It's a bit haphazard, in my opinion, how this is placed. Almost a little sporadic, but it's not horrible.
I
seen
disagree
worse.
with you. I kind of like the fortifications here. The only thing that's a little out of place is that one little guard tower with that vehicle trench, but that could actually be a good internal defensive item for the fact that this base itself is placed so close to a few of these ridge lines. So not a bad position, mind you, for a big defense, especially since it's so close to the BLUFOR side there, and there's a lot of places where they can put those 50 cal statics. They could easily form a good perimeter around the terminal itself, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Especially with that MA8, they're gonna want to try and have that AA or use the.
They're gonna want to keep the 50 cals in good positions, but also spaced away from each other because one gun pod run from that MI8 could easily take out that battle tower. And if they stack everything on there, it's gonna get messy.
Assuming it's not set to invincible, which we did see a target.
It could be, but it might not be. You know.
It could be, might not be. We'll have to wait and see until it actually gets struck by that MIA, which I'm sure it will. Moving on to Terminal 2. This is a bit more of a storage area.
Yeah.
A nice little barracks, some more bunkers, cargo buildings, and a briefing area. Not terrible either.
Lightning cut his mic out.
Honestly, pretty similar to Terminal 1 as far as that U shape, except this time it is facing west. So I feel like this almost isn't as good, simply because the attacking side can come from the east, the south, southeast, northeast, etc., and use the terrain, sorry, I couldn't find the word, but the terrain to their advantage in approaching this area, getting eyes on all the positions, and picking them apart from an elevated surface.
It's a similar kill zone to the previous AO. The issue with it is the defenses are a bit more on the lackluster side. In the previous AO, you had some high-facing HESCOs, you had some overlapping camo nets, similar to the guard. The camo guard tower you see on the western side, you had multiple of those, so there was at least some good concealment of units and some cover to back it up. But here it's just there's a lot more openness that would need to be built up on by the engineers with fortify tools. So there's not really a lot to work with in this regard. I could see this being the abandoned objective. The one saving grace area though is the internal perimeter of this giant shed area. You could put some fortifications around that and kind of turn that into like a single squad holding area, but that would require a little bit of extra building, which I'm not sure BLUFOR wants to commit to.
We shall see. As for Terminal 3, which we are seeing Platoon 1 HQ and Alpha 1 at, a nice little complex with a big old Blue King advertisement on the side of the HQ building, which is nice. This setup isn't the worst. I find it strange how there's a mix of green and tan cargo towers, the little checkpoint towers, but that's obviously just a nitpick.
Small aesthetic.
Exactly. Otherwise, not terrible, but again, we are seeing this divot kind of flanked from 3 directions by the terrain. Again, the opening facing west, and the terrain here is even a higher elevation relative to the actual objective than Terminal 2. They're going to be setting up here. I mean, I don't know, this feels like I'm in fucking Tatooine, just flanked by giant rocks, and I'm gonna be waiting for Tusken Raiders to come up from all sides and just tear me to pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go at the HESCO barriers and go, like, pan your camera all the way down and look around. The one issue I have with this base is if the attacking faction with its 25 number advantage wants to do an encircling attack, which by all means they should, you will always see that no matter what piece of HESCO you use as cover from what direction, you're going to get flanked on a different direction. Now, if you do that same tactic over at Terminal 1, you're going to find that only certain areas you still see part of those HESCOs. So there's a lot more cover in this final base that you can utilize on those HESCOs compared to this one, because the HESCOs used at Terminal 1 are a lot bigger. And the terrain is a little more on an incline, whereas the terrain for Terminal Site 3 is completely flat. So it's really hard to have a good piece of security right here. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I would just, if I was in the defender's shoes, I would put all of my eggs in Terminal 1. I'd have an internal perimeter, and then I'd have 2 or 3 teams worth build some fortifications on the outskirts, and I would just play this as an all eggs in one basket. But this is very tough AO for the defense.
Alpha now is leaving Terminal 3. They're heading back west. We still have some guys going up towards Terminal 2. They haven't quite reached there yet, so I'm sure they're going to be scouting that out and giving a report back to command. That is the X-ray team for BLUFOR. But yeah, for the most part, they are doing exactly what you said, going around Terminal 3. We have Delta and some other teams out on the ridges building some stuff up. We see just to the east of the terminal itself, we see Corporal Firefighter setting up a few watchtowers, and I think, he did just set down a satchel charge on the platform of it, trying to hide it underneath some sandbags. That's very crafty.
Wait, where are you seeing this?
018154, those 2 watchtowers on the watchtower looking southeast on that platform, the top platform of it, under some sandbags. There is a
Gotcha.
Very, very cheeky, and I like it. So yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to be doing, and I am not inclined to disagree with their strategy here. Of the 3, this is probably the strongest, especially considering that battle tower and the ridges, just kind of, doing what Firefighter was doing, building up along those ridges. I'm a fan. Mission is starting now, though. 15 minutes already passing. Jeez.
So if I was on, another strategy I would use for BLUFOR with these 50 cal Humvees, especially with the command camera on the top, I would put these things on ridges and I would go hunting for those BTRs. Because if I can take those BTRs out early and not have to worry about that 14.5 millimeter just suppressing my bases, especially since this is a defensive, I would be in a much better position to let the static 50s do their jobs. Furthermore, another thing they should go hunting for is this MI8, which is taken off right here, or it can be used to try and come in and counterattack some of the forces that are pushing from base. And when I say that, I mean OPFOR spawn.
Quick note, inside that MI8 we have the H1 team, which is the pilot and crew, meaning the PKTs on the left and right side, as well as Foxtrot 2, which I'm not entirely sure what the Foxtrot 2 designation is specifically, but they just seem to be a 3-man fire team, as well as the Red 4 X-ray team, which is the marksman team, with I believe Pads as the marksman itself. Yes, Pads actually has an M24. That's very interesting. But that is who is inside that MI8, so looks like they will be trying to deploy them somewhere way far off to the south and have them move up on foot.
All right.
Otherwise, yeah, everyone's just kind of going west. Did we have an accident? No, they were just...
Dash, is there anything wrong with the audio? Bloodwind's telling me there's something wrong, but I think it's
back
just
in
her
seats.
side. Otherwise, you would have yelled at me. Yeah, so OPFOR was stopping short to see if BLUFOR was going to try to do any rush attack or try to fortify anything proactively. So they're now going to push up forward, seeing that nothing's wrong. We still do have like a bit of BLUFOR on the other 2 terminal sites, I guess, to set up a bit of a proactive defense. Really just a stall. But if these 2 M2 Humvees are going to stay in the rear, there's not really going to be anything that the BLUFOR defense faction can do against those BTRs when they come up. So it's a little worrisome.
Looking around real quick.
You good, Blood? Your mic cut out again.
Of course. Hello?
Yep. We got a BTR still back at base, by the way. It looks like the tires are kind of welded into the ground. I think they're having a tech issue with it, but that's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, welded into the ground, I think, is an understatement there.
Mm-hmm. But we do see OPFOR splitting off into 2 forces here, either to do a pincer maneuver attack from the northeast and the southeast on Terminal 3, or the northern group of the pincer attack is going to go up to Terminal 2. We'll just have to wait and see.
And I gotta say, I am very much a fan of the BLUFOR's
Maybe normal.
stalling defense.
Maybe.
Just 1 or 2 guys on each hill, you know, kind of Taliban style, just plinking at the attackers, making them go as slow as possible, and just burning that candle as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
That is the name of the game as far as playing the objective, because they have that numbers advantage. There's 2 options. You either cut down the numbers advantage or play for time, and it looks like they're going to be playing for time.
Mm-hmm.
I am very excited to see what that heli does, though. That is, I think, the asset to watch for.
Now we're seeing the groups kind of get closer with you. Actually, I'll BRB 1 second. Ah, gosh darn it.
Sure thing.
Sorry.
Hopefully Bramble isn't scratching your balls again. Otherwise, yeah, one of the Humvees is to the east of Terminal 3. And I'm trying to find the rest of these M2 statics. They are just really not making themselves apparent, which is, I mean, good. If even the commentators can't find them, they must be pretty well hidden. I'm just concerned about them not being utilized correctly to deal with those BTRs or the MI8. Speaking of which, the MI8 is now coming around the southwestern side of Terminal 3. Still a good click or so out, but it's way up there, actually. Jesus, I wonder if they have parachutes. They're going to try and paradrop down onto the point itself. Yeah, they're so high up, you can't even see the ground. Very interesting maneuver there, going as high up as they are, but I'm sure they have the reason. Oh, yep, as I said, they are coming down in a parachute formation. Stanners, Fuzzy, Bacon looks like. Lots of Foxtrot 2 and X-Ray dropping down to the northwest now of Terminal 2, but they kind of dropped a little late, and they're being dragged by the momentum of the
helicopter. Yep.
Yep. So we have Koak is solid 700, 800 meters out. Farther out is going to be Mountain at, let me see here, about a click and a half out from my calculation. And yeah, they got to walk ahead of them as soon as they land. Might not be as effective as they thought. Some of them did wait till they got close to the ground to put up their chute, which is fair, but unfortunately Nuzzy has been spotted out by Bravo 1 for BLUFOR. That parachute, a striking color against the dark sand, or darker sand at least.
He's already putting shots out.
Exactly, he has been caught out at least somewhat, and he has been hit as well. Nuzzy seeing some blood on the ground by him.
All right, so OPFOR, I think they are trying to go for a pincer strategy and then a rear strategy just to kind of keep their options open, because they don't know how BLUFOR is deployed, because they don't have any way to do proper recon, because they don't want to put the bird too low to do that role. Otherwise, they could potentially lose it, and they definitely want to keep the gun pod in play in case they absolutely need it. So the pincer attack was coming in to see if Terminal 3 or Terminal 2 were the strong sides, and if they were, the paratrooping group could go for Terminal 1 or Terminal 2, depending on where OPFOR found the main BLUFOR defense force. But with BLUFOR having the main defense force out at Terminal 1, it does kind of mute this paratrooper point, but it's good on OPFOR for keeping all their options open in case they realize that one objective was potentially unguarded, so they can push up on it. I could still see this paratrooper group moving over to Terminal 2 if OPFOR focuses on Terminal 3 and then shifts to Terminal 1, but OPFOR's kind of starved for recon data right now, whereas BLUFOR knows there's a paratrooper group now deployed, and will soon know where OPFOR's main forces are.
So, as a quick note, similar to when a helicopter flies over a base and you see the defending team, try and shoot down the helicopter.
Stanners.
They have revealed that BLUFOR has revealed that they at least have some forces by Terminal 1. And now, with how much they are letting out on the dropping forces, they definitely know that there is a decent garrison here. At least assuming, by that volume of fire. That is what I would assume. So that is a bit of counterintelligence given to Red 4 by that, but obviously the specifics are not going to be.
So, fun fact, just because Bloodwayne is in a conversation with me about it, you can't stream Hoonie Pop on Twitch. It is on the list of banned games, I'm afraid.
That is, yes, that is. However, I did see Remy streaming one that was very raunchy last night. So that was, I forget the name of it, but it was like Joker something.
Okay.
I don't know. It seemed like I'm gonna stop talking there. I feel like I should stop before I dig.
All right. You do you. Okay.
Just.
Are you saying
characters.
I should follow what Remy did and we should start streaming some random loot shit once in a while?
I mean, what is this?
Not loot enough.
I mean, I can take this top off.
Anyway. One of the M2s is engaging from range. That is Private First Class Gain with Private Scott there, engaging from a large range to try to hit some of these OPFOR guys moving down the ridge, but it is unlikely for them to land any kills. Just checking the feed in case, but I don't see anything registered. We still have a few parachutes in the air as well because they opened their chutes way too early. And they are going to just be targets of opportunity for BLUFOR to take pot shots at, or at the very least distract BLUFOR. But otherwise, we're just seeing the small detachment group between Terminal 1 and Terminal 3 trying to hold the line for BLUFOR here as OPFOR encroaches on Terminal 3, really just to buy time for the Terminal 1 defense. One of the biggest weaknesses of an all-eggs-in-one-basket defense with, 3 objectives down is the clock. The defense team's biggest ally is always going to be the clock in a defense mission with multiple objectives. So when you put all of your forces on a single objective for a 50-minute round, more often than not, the objective is going to be finished before those 50 minutes go down, and because the attackers have the number advantage, it is very unlikely for the defenders to be able to push out, pull the W there. So who is commanding BLUFOR? What Montgomery, actually that is not the commander. Commander's T5 Bay. Nice. T5 Bay is often, I call him my second favorite pick for FNF.
Yeah. Why is strange that T5 Bay is off on?
Yeah, you never see him command, but he's on par with Nemesis. As some of the best players in FNF.
The M2 is right next to his position, so that's cheeky. Shooting from the rock.
So
that is very cheeky.
T5 Bay, as someone that is a very good player in FNF and knows what he's doing, knows that if he puts all of his defending force in this 1AO, he's not going to be able to get a time advantage. So what he's done is he's set up little contingency groups to hold out, but on the first sign of contact, also pull back, as you're seeing right here, so they don't get killed off, just to harass OPFOR as they come into the actual objectives themselves. He's got another group up at Terminal 2, but he's also has a few forces from X-Ray coming up to this OPFOR group, maybe to try to get a few licks in. We do have... Oh, shit. Wow, no. We've got RPGs on the squad level. I didn't even realize that. That would mean the mat weapon is a... probably an RPG-42, but normally you see squad-based AT in the... as a single-shot AT disposable instead of reloadable RPG. That's very old school from for FNF because they changed that out a long time ago. BLUFOR rifle is not the FAMAS. What's the damn designation, Barb? It's the Croatian rifle. VHS, that's it.
I always called it a Czech for some reason, but no, it is in fact Croatian.
Yeah.
One of the few times I was wrong about a military designation or asset.
I get them fucked up all the time too, so.
I know, I try to be better than you though.
Yeah. Good luck. Alright, so Finn's coming behind Arma Jesus, Schultz, and King here. Now, Arma Jesus and Schultz have been two, they're not really newcomers anymore, but they're very, very good players. But Arma Jesus, I think, is about to get Hillary Clinton.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein, Flying Finn manages to kill Arma Jesus. And Arma Jesus, of course, does his classic dead T-pose, just as he did, what, like 2,000 years ago? Something like that. And Finn is able to back away before he is engaged. But we have OPFOR trying to encircle Flying Finn as he backs off, but the rest of Flying Finn's X-Ray group is trying to help him. Flying Finn now in a one-on-one with Bravo 1, which was King, who was Arma Jesus' TL, but... Finn is getting encircled very quickly. Might get shot in a moment here by Night Owl, but Night Owl's looking the wrong way. So if OPFOR isn't able to encompass Finn, he might be able to get a free kill on Jesus. Okay, that was pushing it there, but...
Oh, but calling the crucifix a T-pose.
Oh, hold up. The other group of X-Ray just got 2 free kills. There's the Terminal 3 hack started, but... this 3-man X-Ray team's actually getting some decent licks in. They've gotten 2 kills, 1 down for 3 things total. We do have a medic close by on Cooper. Go ahead on Finn.
So Finn was looking to the southeast.
Embers out, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Hope you keep enjoying the ops.
He was not aware
Hope you are staying safe on COVID and hope you get a kick out of the stream.
Pain occluding his vision.
Yeah, his legs are hit.
Night Owl, actually, he is looking the complete wrong direction, away from where Finn is, actually. And as Finn starts to get suppressed by a few riflemen, I think a machine gun as well.
He's fighting for his life, but... He is fighting a PKM gunner, but the PKM gunner's standing. There's a little bit of death blade he can use, but now he's taking rifle fire from Kane. He's dead. Oh, but X-Rays run up, but Montgomery is also about to be Epstein.
What the? Okay. All right.
And, hold up. Now we got another guy coming around. And he manages to get the kill before that finishes. Okay, so... that was
4 kills.
Platoon 1 HQ, Arma Jesus, and Snow from Bravo 1. Lunab is also down, and Sideways, the squad leader for Bravo, is also down. Actually, let me verify that Jesse was a part of this group. Yes, he was. And what are the other skulls here? Woonip, but Woonip's part of a different group. So they were able to get, let me do another quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4 kills and 1 down for the 3 on X-Ray. Not a bad call there. I don't think it's enough to really stem the 25% difference, but at least they were able to stall the northern group a little bit before they got to Terminal 2. That's going to buy them a few minutes, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Last round, EU round 3, those 3 minutes that the defending group's first terminal team was able to buy them actually won it for them. But... I don't think it's going to be the same case here because the number difference is a lot more staggering than that. And we just had Finn get double tapped by Chult there.
Yep. Yep, that is absolutely a double tap on Finn. Unfortunate. They have the covert 2s for some reason.
Yeah, as the handguns, I noticed that too. I think this is just a kit bash faction, which are always fun to watch, you know, just the various different weaponry. But it is important to note that OPFOR, on top of having a 25% numbers advantage, has at least a third to half of their guys operating with 7.62 rifles, which does make a difference. You know, instead of having to 3 or 4 tap a guy in the chest, you only have to 2 or 3 tap him with a 7.62. I wouldn't be able to tell you who's winning right now. It's still too early to tell. OPFOR has taken one of the 3 terminal sites. There is about 33 minutes left on the clock here. There's enough room for anything to go either way. But if the 3 people on Terminal 2 can stall, you might see... Okay. So OPFOR's plan right now, to answer that, I gotta get into this. So OPFOR has a pincer attack going on, and then a flank attack that did air assault by jumping out of a helicopter doing a lay low. They have divided the forces from that air assault because they're still trying to figure out where BLUFOR's main force is. So they've got one group heading over and one group heading south. While that's going on, OPFOR has done a force split here. So where BLUFOR can win more time is if these 3 guys can stall this northern force, which is already taking casualties because of BLUFOR X-Ray, which is their marksman team. If they can further stall this group, while this southern group makes its attack on Terminal 1, which is where BLUFOR is the most fortified, with 2 M2 Humvees and 4 static M2s, then this defense force could overpower that other pincer and that half of the recon group that jumped out of the helicopter for OPFOR, and then be strong enough to also fight the other half of the pincer. Now, if the northern pincer overpowers the 3 guys at Terminal 2 and quickly moves in to do a flanking attack on Terminal 1 while the southern pincer for OPFOR is in full swing, they could overpower the defensive force on Terminal 1 by getting up on these high, what would you call these, Barb? Hills, I guess?
Ridges?
I don't think they're steep enough to be ridges, but you know, for lack of a better term, let's call them ridges. These ridges overwatching the terminal site and deliver some really nasty enfilading fire, even though there's some really thick HESCO barrier protection here, and there's a lot of places where you can hide that puts you away from most of the ridges here. Just having all of those eyes looking down onto the base itself could be problematic for BLUFOR, especially since OPFOR started this with a 25% numbers advantage. So really, this could go either way. It's still too early to tell. It is slightly in BLUFOR's favor, though, because they were able to stall the northern flank. And the more they can stall that flank, the more likely OPFOR is going to commit the southern flank in the Terminal 1 early. Terminal 1 defense will overpower that because by then BLUFOR will have the defending numbers advantage, and they'll be able to just divide and conquer OPFOR's remaining force. We're already seeing the 3 BLUFOR guys. One of them started putting some pot shots out on the northern pincer, which is going to slow them down even further. So we'll see. I think the next 10 minutes are going to be a good tell of where this operation's going to lean. It could still change because you never know what happens in PvP, but I think by the time we get to the 20-minute mark and counting, we'll definitely be able to get a clear idea of who's going to win this round.
I'm anticipating the X-ray
Ren, look up Yellowstone.
West-northwest of Terminal 2, using that marksman rifle and the extended scope, or extended range of the scope, to try and plink at Foxtrot 2 if they can spot them out. Especially since, you know, from their angle, they'll look at the compound, excuse me, see no one's there, look around, and possibly spot out Foxtrot 2, but they're actually pretty well hidden from that approach, so they might not get spotted out at all. It is worth noting that Pickles there near Terminal 2 does have that M240 Bravo, so that's a very good asset that they're going to want to try and keep as long as possible. Like you said, could do some good damage from an overwatch position, but it'll depend on if they're...
We can talk armor maps between this round and the next one, by the way. So we'll save that conversation for then. There's the fucking gun run coming in, but they came down a little too hard.
Oh!
He didn't get shot out, he just didn't pull up hard enough.
asset wasted in FNF.
Oh my fucking god, that's... I'm out of booze, but that would be a shot. Like... You're given a fucking... What? What were they?
3mm gun pod. The first time in recent memory.
Very, very long time since I've seen a gun pod. Usually it's, a rocket pod. Or something stupid.
Yeah. But it's a gun pod, which is super fucking good. I mean, like you said,
I don't know why they did a top-down attack. They could have just wild weaseled through and been fine.
it's a very basic. A very basic gun run. It doesn't take a lot. Yes, it's an MI8. Yes, it's a fucking Russian school bus. But you can still gain the momentum, maintain a good flight path, and just do a good strafe on this. They could have easily picked apart this entire valley.
Like... So OPFOR did a good job PIDing where BLUFOR was going to have their main force, because that was the right place to hit, because they've seen the other two terminal sites and realized that, okay, BLUFOR must have most of their force at the other one. So that was a good call there. It was just the incompetence of the pilot to do a very inappropriate gun run there. He did not pull up in time. He came down at a very steep angle to try to evade AAA fire from the 50 cals, but I really don't get it. Like, from my angle, he made very little attempt to actually pull up, and it looks like he might have lost control of the airframe, but...
Who knows? Maybe he had a frame hitch mid-run, and it plummeted him into the ground. That obviously wasn't his intention to lawn dart into the rocks. But it is, in fact, what happened, unfortunately. I'm just upset that it was we haven't seen it in a while, to be fair, but
we haven't seen an armed helicopter in a while, and then that gets squandered first thing.
I just mean, in general, a misutilized or misused asset being used, well, inappropriately and gets wasted. We haven't seen that in a while to credit as a coalition community event.
You know, in all honesty, I think a better thing to do would have been to have, like, the X-ray team get on a ridgeline close, and then just line up the gun and spot for it, because it creates a shit ton of smoke when it impacts. So they could literally just have, they could have just walked the gun rounds in with support.
Static
but
cover. Yeah,
it's just,
thinking that it's...
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That was a shame.
So my money is now on BLUFOR.
Yeah, but BLUFOR, I see Foxtrot 2, Kevin's remounting that truck. You got Cullen and Pickles here still holding. OPFOR's closing in. And then you've got some small OPFOR aggressors moving around the perimeters here. If BLUFOR could hold Terminal 2 for 5 minutes, I think they'd be fine. But I don't think that we're going to see that, because OPFOR is just slowly starting to encroach. Again, it's getting very, very close here.
Sparky's telling me not to touch the assets inappropriately. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I mean, I'm surprised the pilots are still alive, which just goes to show you that, again, no one got shot out or anything. It was just a complete misuse of the helicopter. I don't mean to sound like an ass, but I don't recognize any of these names. The pilot was Dylan, because he has the -1 aircraft piece.
I recognize Dylan. I don't recognize Schnuffles, but I do also recognize...
Pilots are getting flanked, though. You got Nemesis coming up, showing us why he is Nemesis. And he is able to dance around the gunshots given out by the final guy, Schnuffles. But Nemesis on 2 kills. He's looking for 3. Quickly spraying Schnuffles at head level.
Got a few shots, but no, nothing really too bad. Old man needs to take his diet.
But Nemesis, he's got safety on his rear, so we can just hold on this rock and poke at different angles. Meanwhile, Schnuffles has to be careful where he peeks up.
It falls far and goes down. And more shots on...
Getting close either way.
He hasn't gotten down from this. I'm not seeing any blood on the ground by Nemesis, but it could be because he's on a rock.
Well, the blood is going to go under, and there is blood. But,
yes,
yeah, he was
good point.
just got the 3rd kill.
He did. He very much did.
I love how I was talking about in the EU rounds that I haven't seen Nemesis do too much in the past few times, and now he just, you know, comes up and sweeps 3 pilots. Never mind, Nemesis. I'm sorry for doubting you. Now, Cullen has opted to stay by Terminal 2. He's taking a few shots, and he's going to get back behind the rock, but he's at least trying to stay here to stall, as the other 2 guys grabbed a Vic and pulled away, Kevin and Pickles. Otherwise, OPFOR here, the 3 guys that parachuted down are just popping some smokes and testing BLUFOR's 360 here. But another interesting thing to point out is OPFOR has done the defensive option and reconsolidated their forces along Terminal 2. And honestly, it's just up to Cullen to hold. I wonder if there's an explosive trap in play. Because with terminals, it's the best time to do explosive traps because you get a prompt when they touch the terminal. So if you hide the charge...
Get a perfect...
yeah, it's easy. All you got to do is hover over it, and as soon as you see that little hint, which is the name of the comment box that comes up on your screen, you just detonate the damn thing. I doubt it, though, because I think Cullen's only a rifleman and or grenadier. But this change in play for OPFOR shows they're being very conscious about knowing where BLUFOR's defensive force is. So there's the hack started. I don't think we'll see any taps, though. That was done at the 40 to 30 minute mark, which means we have 23 minutes remaining to do Terminal 1 at a full strength versus full strength. I'm going to be honest, now that I know that OPFOR is reconsolidating, we'll probably do like a northern attack, or they'll remount and choose a different angle. I think it's actually leaning in BLUFOR's favor, because if OPFOR attacks from that vector, they're going to be stuck on flat ground, and BLUFOR is going to have the advantage because they have the associated ridge lines around and can easily do some outflankings on OPFOR. I think OPFOR is going to spend a few minutes, though, remounting and flanking around with vehicles, because going on foot's going to eat up a lot of time and put them in a bad position, so at least they should remount and, you know, use that time to get around instead. Plus, they've lost track of the Major here, and he might get behind a few OPFOR lines here. But if OPFOR doesn't utilize the terrain of Terminal 1 to their advantage and get stuck attacking in the flat areas, there's going to be a lot of enfilading fire from the ridge lines to get them.
We got about 21 minutes and change left in this fight. So, depending on how well they utilize any transport they still have, whether it be those BTRs or trucks, so I think they can fit
Cullen's down.
16 or 17. Yeah, he got front.
Yeah.
But I think they can fit about 16 or 17 people. Oh, that was weird. I might be memory king. Let me
You're right.
bump out. Yeah.
Yeah. Just do a quick soft log from the server. Don't actually leave the server.
Yep, I know.
So to explain, if you have a lower-end graphics card, sometimes you'll start seeing parts of the map flashing because the textures will load in and out. So if you're quick enough after you see that, if you just go to the mission, the role select screen of the server and come back, it usually fixes it. But if you let it go on for too long, then you have to fully restart Arma. It's just an issue with the game where it detects...
Not perfect, but it helps.
Yeah.
It can fix your problems in a pinch.
The mem leak is client side.
60 frames percent. Or,
yeah.
No, fuck, whatever.
60 frames percent, you say.
I've been thinking that the key is that.
Alright, 20 minutes in. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to say BLUFOR victory. Simply because OPFOR is going to have to spend another 10 minutes maneuvering onto the site. The 5-minute warning is going to be called in less than 15-minute warning is going to be called in less than 5 minutes. That's going to force OPFOR to rush. And I think BLUFOR is just too heavily entrenched here to do anything. Maybe OPFOR could do a thunder run and catch BLUFOR off guard, but this valley to the north is a kill zone, and BLUFOR's got a lot of assets overwatching. However, I will say in FNF, I have seen the attackers do a really dumb thunder run, and it actually works. Like staggering amount of times. I'd say it's 50-50 if they thunder run it. Which, again, shouldn't be the case, but I've seen some crazy shit in this in these Friday night fight ops. Now, the one thing BLUFOR needs to do to counter a Thunder Run is deploy their 2 M2 Humvees that they have on the sides.
Thunder Run.
Yeah, to basically just stop the Thunder Run in its tracks. If the BTRs try to Thunder Run it, have the Humvees drive around and take it out, because they can use its speed to basically drive faster around the BTR 80 than the BTR turret can turn, and all they have to do is just fire where the gunner is, which is just under the gun, and they can easily take the gunner out. And then a few 50 cal shots to the rear will kill the engine. But this movement on foot is really scaring me. I think I'm seeing some people start to form up on a BTR, though, on the eastern side, but it's not going to be enough. I think we're going to see OPFOR rush it when we see that 15-minute warning called in a few minutes. You know, I have realized that I think BLUFOR, well, we already knew that, but BLUFOR kind of played this one out to go this way, and I think OPFOR just bought it hook, line, and sinker with T5 base plan, because by fortifying lightly terminal 2 and 3, they basically baited OPFOR to go north to the next terminal site by leaving it open, and then that forces OPFOR to be in a position where they'd have to spend more time maneuvering to get to the last terminal to be in a good position. I love the Thunder in Arma 3. It's really, really crisp. Like, there's plenty of times where I think that's like real Thunder actually going off behind me. Yeah, it always makes me double take.
There were some good moments. When you were like pissed at Bloodwing for coming to my stream first.
Yeah.
Like she, like you would say a line and then Thunder.
Very
would
immersive.
It'd be like, I'd be a little scaredy boy.
We have AT being fired from OPFOR into the BLUFOR hillsides here. But what was I talking about before the Thunder cut me off? BLUFOR's planning. So it's just forcing OPFOR to maneuver and spend more time on the clock. So I think T5 Bay has done a very good job with his unit placement and tactics to take an all eggs in one basket defense strategy and still eat up the clock. And that is something you very rarely seen done in FNF, and in this case it works really fucking well. So T5A isn't just good with a fucking machine gun, he's a fucking damn good tactician too. I love it.
Yeah, it pays to kind of, try new things, and in this case it's working out pretty well. Only 16 minutes now to go, and counting.
I could see... Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, to go off what you were about to say, I definitely could see it going either way. BLUFORs have maintaining a decent perimeter. Just looking at the map, they have a loose kind of trapezoid almost shape going on here, defending both from the ridges and from the base itself. So it's not just a singular point of defense. They have a decent network of guns looking all around. So I could see that working out pretty well, but I could also see those BTRs and trucks providing a decent amount of cover fire for these troops to move in. Looks like they're going mainly on foot, which is an interesting call.
That makes sense.
At nearest, still about half a click away, and at furthest, a full click. So that's an interesting call with only 15 or so minutes on the clock. We should see that
so
any second.
Another, yep. So, I understand why they pulled Pickles and Kevin back. Pickles was the Foxtrot 2 machine gunner. And now he is in a very good position right here to engage OPFOR forces coming down. But as I say that, OPFOR's marksman from the northwest just picked him off. He's still alive, but with the loss of that machine gun, that's going to actually let OPFOR push in quicker. I'm not sure if OPFOR is having good communication to call that out, though, but that, I think, just helped OPFOR push in here. Pickles wakes back up, but they need to get off this hillside because otherwise the marksman's going to shoot again. So if Red 4 on the northwestern side starts getting up on these hilltops with that, the air assault group they had, they could start wrestling control of BLUFOR away from that ridgeline to help the main force come in. The question becomes, though, do they have time to do that in 14 minutes? And I think the answer is no.
No, I agree with you. I love, Staff Sergeant Barber, good name, shooting at, what's his position? So from his position to where he's firing at troops like a good 800 meters away. And between the LRAS and the M2 sighting, I mean, he's getting some pretty decently accurate shots. Not perfectly accurate, but close enough to give him a scare and to hit this BTR a little bit. Don't know if it's effective or not, but it's accurate at the very least.
So OPFOR, real quick, OPFOR is running its Charlie squad back to grab 2 UAZs in a truck. So we are going to see a Thunder Run get planned because that's the time.
Their only chance right now.
Yep. And that's exactly what BLUFOR wants in this position. One of the Humvees just took a shit ton of fire. That was Staff Sergeant Barber, as you mentioned. The BTR actually just got a lot of nasty shots on it. It looks like Foxtrot 2 for OPFOR is trying to deliver some enfilading fire on his position. The shots are going a little high, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that Humvee that Barber was in is now smoking, so he's bailed out.
Yep.
Though it is armored, the 14.5 millimeter, even at distance, is
Can
still very
easily pen. Yep.
Around. Yeah.
That's actually really good for OPFOR here because that limits BLUFOR's response to only a single Humvee. And with those 2 BTR 80s overwatching, you might be able to see OPFOR just barely pull this off because all they have to do is run in there and touch the terminal. If they're able to do that, I don't see BLUFOR being able to touch it back if OPFOR is able to overpower this side. That's one of the risks with this strategy because, again, OPFOR had the 25% numbers advantage, so BLUFOR, in order to make the strat work, has to commit a lot of their forces to the ridges to make sure that they're okay. Now, I would be curious to see if OPFOR is going to try a Thunder Run, not from the direct north, but from a completely different avenue altogether, realizing that BLUFOR is spread thin. But that is going to have to be up to a guess by Pierce in order to make that call. But Pierce has commanded a lot in the past, so I would assume he would be smart enough to make something like that. As I am seeing the weapons squad take 2 UAZs and head down on a different angle. They could potentially come from the west or the exposed southern flank. The issue then becomes, though, is OPFOR going to have enough time to get to that terminal with all these forces encroaching slowly? Because we are at the 11-minute mark. It's going to be a nail-biter here.
Maybe. I think the defense is going to be strong enough to deter any kind of Thunder Run, and if not deter, then punish. Sorry.
Well, so I think... Hold up. Nope, Charlie's dismounting early. Way early. Oh, because they wrecked one of their fucking UAZs.
Oh.
No!
I mean,
And there's a lot of them that are crippled. I don't think they're all going to be able to fit in that UAZ, though. I think they're going to be,
So they got one more...
One short. One short.
So, sorry, War Dog. You get to walk.
See, the one issue with OPFOR... the one thing OPFOR could get here, though, is, another attack like that could force Bay to consolidate forces away from this large infantry push to the northeast over to deal with the south, thinking that OPFOR is putting reserve forces on his rear. And in that thin stretch, that might be enough for the northern group to push, but again, with the amount of time left, it's very unlikely.
I think so, too. I think it's almost guaranteed for BLUFOR to hold this off.
9.5 minutes for time.
Really worked well in doing that, the delay and just burning the time, burning the clock as best they can, and it's worked out well enough. We've seen it before where certain players just don't, they play more for kills and not the objective, or they don't play the objective, well enough, and their defense just falters. So it's good to see something like this really work out in their favor. Yeah,
so we're seeing Alpha 1 I think this is just Paladin charging up with a BLUFOR Vic. He's trying to get on this ridgeline on his own. He might be able to get a jump. Nope, wait, he had a second guy in the cockpit with him. Lack of a better term. But they could actually do some damage up on this group. There's still a lot of time. We have the BTRs also pushing in.
Yeah.
And the second one has guys on the back.
PvP and a PKM, so that's two pretty decent weapons there. And once they come across this, they should be able to poke underneath this watchtower because they built it kind of improperly, and also hop up on there. One guy
BLUFOR's trying to get some AT in, but
called out.
Charlie 2, look at the damage Charlie 2 for OPFOR is doing on the top of this battle tower. 2 down.
The lava nades over here with Alpha 1 into this little pocket, but someone just came around the side and killed the leader. And
Yep, a lot. There's 3 guys down on top of the BTR. I don't know why they got on top of the BTR instead of inside. All 4 of those guys are down.
But yeah, one guy.
There's no one to dismount now. Yeah. Those are to be expected in Thunder runs. It's just very, very costly at times.
It's a matter of desperation, and it shows, honestly.
Yep.
I hate to sound as
Oh.
as it is, but like, that's absolutely what this is. It's a play for desperate times calls for desperate measures, and BLUFOR was ready for it. You know, they've had all this time, as long as the run's been going on, they've been able to fill in the gaps of their defensive network.
These BTRs are peppering 14.5 millimeter on top of the tower, but BLUFOR has backpacked the M2 static to make sure it doesn't get destroyed for potential use later. And you got elements of Charlie running from the south, but they're trying to take fire. Bay, I think, was just trying to pick them off. Which I can't even find. No, actually, he's on the different side. Never mind, he's hiding so he can continue commanding. And BLUFOR, you're seeing a few guys popping smoke to actually get back to the compound to try to close the distance here. We also have some footmen close to where Charlie's pushing from, and they're going to try and drop him. But you got 2 elements of Charlie 2, 3 guys in Charlie 2 OPFOR. Thunder running on the rear. And they're immediately shot at by 2 vanguards on the southern side. But the range is a little too great here. And you got Patriot charging for it, but he is taken out by Tekic. BLUFOR might just have enough here.
It's into the compound.
About 6 minutes remain. Wardog just trying to find a good angle here. He immediately takes fire and is dropped as soon as he leaves by Cool Breeze, but Cool Breeze did not get the kill.
Sit up him. Gets fucking...
Pickles, though! The fucking building explodes, killing Pickles and his battle buddy. Gorski running up, managing to get a kill on... I think it was Tekic right there. Got another OPFOR player in the zone here. This is CF. He is on the multi, by the way. And we're seeing explosions go off on this battle tower and on traps.
Oh, that was one. CF got hit by his explosive trap. He's down. Probably not going to get back
And
up.
you have Gorski next to an explosive charge. He just got picked off, though. BTR just took a Moz hit. OPFOR is desperately trying to touch this terminal. And BLUFOR is holding fast, but casualties are heavy on both sides. This is OPFOR commander now, Pierce.
5 minutes.
Leading the way. OPFOR still has time.
Pierce has hopped the wall. He does have a decent angle on these 2 guys, but they've actually pushed out. They get one.
Yep. One of his buddies is taken out. Pierce now coming around trying to cover. Grenade going over. It's a bit too much. But you've got members of BLUFOR from both the ridge and the tower firing down, killing Pierce's other battle buddy. OPFOR still has Mito on the other side.
Yep, here comes Nemesis coming around the side by the burning BTR. Gonna get
Nemesis on 4 kills. And takes Pierce out, but trades. That was his 5th.
5.
Yep.
And
You have this other OPFOR group with the other BTR. They could still move in. There is time. And Mito is still in striking position. And there's OPFOR guys now. It's X-Ray coming along the rear of the ridge here. They could stop this Overwatch BLUFOR group. It's close.
He said he tried to defuse the satchel charge before it blew up, and he was too slow. He was
Nice.
defused when it blew up. Oh my.
Mito getting shot at from the BLUFOR Overwatch and is taken out.
Yep.
BLUFOR need the X-ray group to come in and clear this ridge side to alleviate OPFOR to come down, but there's still this other ridge group. You got Edwin trying to take guys out, but he is being covered from the other side of the ridge. He puts some bullets down. He's unable to get Herb though.
No way. 3.5 minutes. No way.
I think the BLUFOR defense here is just too fucking great for BLUFOR to overpower. Most of that ridge, though, on the western side is hit. T5 Bay found a 240 Bravo. He's now looking around, trying to cover. But you still have BLUFOR overwatching the eastern side, but they are getting suppressed. RPG's going up on that tower. That tower's set to invincible, by the way. It should have changed damage textures with all the explosives that have gone off. We have total conscience and striking distance, but we have a really cheeky play by Wise here. But he opts to bandage. Could that cost him?
3 minutes and counting. Less than 3 minutes.
Conscience trying to engage someone else.
Underneath the cargo tower gets one actually.
Yep.
The other guy gets him.
But Wise is able to pick him off.
Steel with the cotton in his ear.
2.5 minutes.
That headwear he's wearing is actually... Oh, that was a dirty fucking angle from the top of the battle tower.
Yep. Firefighter still flanking the remaining OPFOR forces coming in. I don't know what to say here. I think this is going to be it.
I mean, 2 minutes now, still a chance, but it's slim at best. But almost kind of a red on red there. But
yep.
Yeah, so you're telling me there's
Wise is overwatching when those two are gonna walk out of that HESCO, if they even move out of that HESCO. Third guy running in now. Wise tries to open up. One of them gets knocked out. That was Koak. And OPFOR doesn't have any other forces to come down into the AO in time. 1 minute 40 seconds. Wise is now gonna not wait them out. Instead, he's gonna come in and breach with his machine gun. Knocks one out, but gets knocked out by the last guy. Mass on his first kill, but then he gets a headshot tap by the man in the tower. That was Cool Breeze, who is, he's on -2 kills and a negative vehicle kill. Oh, right, I know why. Because he blew up the truck, and that truck killed 2 of his battle buddies next to him. So yeah, he blew it up with an explosive charge, and that's what killed the 2 guys next to the, on the northern side of that blown out HQ building. So that's why he's on -2.
Yep.
But that's GG.
4, by the way, with that
GG.
240 Bravo on the roof of the battle tower. 4 kills. Did he just get a 5th? No, he's on 4. But that is going to be it. 40 seconds to go, and there is no one even near. Mountain is... He's got in the Humvee. His battle bay just got shot. He's in the turret now, rotating.
And Command is going for the headshot there, and he gets it. Wait, no, that wasn't... Oh, I thought that was... Is he... Okay, no, I guess,
Maybe he's down? Oh, there...
Yeah, T5 Bay is dead. I thought he was still up there. I didn't realize someone else was still up there with him. But Catch getting, that's his 3rd kill.
That will be his 3rd.
He just can't get the double taps on it.
Just hit the head.
Come on, buddy.
He's
the head.
Yep.
The head. The lid.
The road.
The lid.
The road.
No, that's your magazine. The lid.
Road. Fisher.
Oh, there we go. There's his 3rd kill.
He turned into fucking Play-Doh.
There's his 4th kill. All right. There we go. But yeah, no, that was an exceptionally good defensive play by T5 Bay. Pierce did his best, but his flanking groups were not able to take care of the ridges in time, and he just walked right into where BLUFOR wanted him to walk into, and that's what got T5 Bay for BLUFOR the W there. Definitely.
Big ol' heckin' dub for BLUFOR. Well earned as well. Came down to the
Definitely.
wire like you've been seeing, and it's...